What is it like once you know cognitive functions for the first time? I'm telling you right now, it's like figuring out that atoms exist. You can't unsee what you've seen. It's just like atoms. Like again, like once you hear about it, you realize, oh shoot, there's billions and trillions of these invisible things called atoms that makes us up. And then when you think about it from the cognitive functions, we have all these 8 cognitive functions that somehow make up 16 personality types. And then of course you'll have variations of each type, right? Because not everybody's the same ENTP or INFJ or whatever have you. And so when you look at it from that perspective, it's just like
A few moments later.
how easy it is to understand people and myself even cognitively. Everything that you do is just psychoanalyze people like no other. You come into this person in contact, boom, psychoanalyze that person. And then after that, when you um, go to this next person, boom. Then when you watch anime, boom, you also psychoanalyze the people. You want to know which type. You log into, PDB just to get a little bit of information there. And then when you watch your TV shows, everything that you do, you just psychoanalyze everybody's cognitive functions. Then you want to realize their type and all that stuff. Like it gets real hardcore. But of course, you then have to start getting used to it and start relaxing. But at least initially, I do remember that this is how it felt when I would just learn this, at least in my first probably 6 months. I would just continuously go at it and just want to know cognitively deep down what is this person immediately. You people are just a bunch of information that I am trying to know, and I do not know, and it is annoying, and I would like to know. Not knowing makes it hard to predict what you're going to do, and I do not like it when I cannot predict where you're going because that means you're just a bunch of, like, at least that's how it feels, like brainless people, even though you're not brainless. It's just that like it just seems like it because you just don't know what they're going to do. My time in high school was extremely annoying. When I always look at it, I'm always thinking to myself, like, man, why are these people behaving a certain way? And I just could never make any sense out of it. Like, no sense. And I have introverted thinking as my first function, so that just makes it even worse. By the way, if you don't know what that word means, no, I got you in the description. It's just annoying just to seeing the people and then not knowing what's going on. It's just like, think about it like when you were a kid. Seriously, like if you're a person that didn't know cognitive functions back then, and then you know cognitive functions now, it's like, how were you even able to see the world a certain way? I mean, I know that one thing is imagination, but another thing is just like the fact that we could not predict anything whatsoever about what this person was going to do. You were just trying to just do stuff for the sake of doing stuff because, well, you're a child, so you're just going to do whatever you want and just play. That's all you're going to do. I can't stress how I can't stress how incomprehensible the world was. It's like a translation language for me. This person is saying this, and then a bunch of 0 and 0 and 0 and 0 and 0 and 0. It seems like when people talk to me, finally with cognitive functions, oh, now there's like a mediator. I can actually translate this information into understandable language. It feels like time slows down. Anime, right? When the character analyze, like, over calculate like pretty much everything that's happening within like that 1 second of the situation. Kuroko no Basket I'm referring to. Fighting animes as well. If you have the right fundamentals of understanding cognitive functions, time will really feel like it's slowing down. I'm hearing this guy, I'm hearing this person. Yeah, that's the person's behavior, that's the person's personality type. Naturally, they're gonna do X, Y, Z, right? Um, it's always gonna be like that. Particularly for the ESFP types that pretty much have known most throughout my life. Um, yeah, now you guys are very predictable now. I can absolutely know what they're doing. I mean, before they used to be extremely unpredictable. You knew it was always about being themselves, but it's like at the same time, I didn't really know how exactly what was going on. Like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? And now we won't no longer blast at them for their behavior just because. All right, I can see you're cognitively doing this. It's bound to happen that you're going to behave a certain way that just would naturally piss you off as an INTP. It starts to all make sense. Everything falls into place now, rather than just breaking all apart. It's no longer super duper complicated as it used to be. And if I just told you all this information where you could pretty much decode a person and literally understand them, what they're going to do, what they're going to say, probably after 10 minutes of conversation, if you know their type. Why does anyone not use this, right? Like, why is it so underground? Why is this kind of functions not distributed, like in the academic psychology, right? You would think that people should know this and just be able to just break down everybody like anime and slowing down and all that, right? And of course not. It has to do with science and empiricism and how they view things scientifically. Anything psychoanalytics is basically pseudoscience, but it really does suck because you imagine how easy it is to know people the moment that you study cognitive functions. Like I remember I had a conversation with an INFP and the maximum function is extroverted sensing. Let me guess this obvious thing that they have. Do you have a lack of physical awareness rather? And from there you can know what their answer was. Yes, sometimes we can forget about our own lives physically, like forgetting that we exist physically just because we kept thinking, overthinking, and then when you stop thinking for at least 10 minutes, then you'll forget your physical existence. But either way, cognitive functions is great. Um, it would be nice if there was much more noise. It's too bad Carl Jung don't got that noise because, they don't like psychoanalytics. They don't really like it. You have the whole foundation and down and everything. It's too bad. But that's pretty much what it's like to know cognitive functions, at least as an INTP. That's what it feels like, and that's what it sounds like. That's what it think like. You get the gist. End this off horribly.